Well, let me tell you this is not a video I wanted to make at any point ever. Bro, I've literally had this car like 60 days and I've driven it like 1,500 miles. Ugh. It's very cold in this car. Kind of like my soul is right now. So the title's true. The Golf R blew up. You can go ahead and save your "I told you so" comments to yourself. All right, I don't need to hear it. So as you guys saw in the end of the last video, I was literally just driving the Golf to the shop. Car started misfiring. It died at a light. I was able to limp it to the shop. There were no abnormal sounds or anything like that, aside from it like breaking up in RPM, anything above like 3K. And yeah, ever since, and then I got it towed home. And ever since then, just straight up issues, straight up problems with the car. I pulled the check engine light for the car. It was for cylinder 3 misfire. Cylinder 3 misfire. I was like, it's no big deal. It's a misfire. Misfires are either fuel, air, spark, or timing. So, obviously started with the easiest route there, which was spark. So I went ahead, pulled out the spark plugs in the car, and I found a nice surprise. But for educational purposes, let me show you what rod knock sounds like. Dude, it's such a terrible sound. Not even, we have no check engine lights either right now. Oh, and oil inspection service. That's a joke that literally came on the day that it happened. You ever curious what rod knock sounds like? That's it. And by no means at all is that a pleasant sound. That sound right there will straight up kill your spirit. Look at that, not even a check engine light. Let's just go ahead and turn you back off. Oil inspection. I didn't even make it to an oil change! So as you guys can tell, I'm a little annoyed and a little upset. Yeah, I literally bought the car 70 days ago. We calculated out 70 days ago from the time of recording this on Christmas. This car died on Christmas Eve. What a great Christmas present, right? Like I said, I was driving to the shop, started misfiring, having all these issues, got it towed home. Christmas Eve, Melanie came out. She's a trooper also for helping me knock some stuff out on the Golf to try to diagnose what was going on. I haven't done a compression test on the engine. Haven't done a leak down test, but I can already tell you cylinder 3 is the one that failed. And I'm a little annoyed as to why. So here in front of me, I've got the Carfax for this Golf. And this Golf was quote unquote religiously maintained. And I don't believe that after seeing what we found yesterday. So when I bought the car, it had 69,300 miles on it or whatever like that. It's at like 71,200 or something like that right now. It's not a lot of mileage increase. Now, before I bought this car, it went through 2 reputable dealers, an Audi dealership and a Volkswagen dealership. I bought this car from a Volkswagen dealership, and I'm a little irritated because both of them state that a pre-sale inspection was completed, and we looked up some PDI kind of reports for used cars that go out, and they make sure everything is mechanically sound, everything is up to date, maintenance, basic things to make sure that they're selling a car that's well within the range of being driven on the street. Now, because it went through an Audi dealership and a Volkswagen dealership, this is what really kind of pisses me off about this. Actually, let me show you first. Now, under any normal circumstances, if an engine failure were to happen and it was my fault, I would 100% take responsibility and blame for it. However, this is not my fault. So I pulled the plugs out of the Golf. Now, first thing you'll notice is, yes, they are absolutely covered in oil. I ordered a new valve cover gasket for this, just an OEM Volkswagen one. And when I was gonna take because I was gonna bring that thing to the dealership to have them reset the inspection and service light after they did the oil change for me, because I was just gonna bring it to them. Car didn't even make it to a oil change. So, misfire, we started diagnosing it, pulled these plugs. A, they are absolutely covered in oil. B, they look old. These plugs are they are old. The last service record shows that these plugs were changed at about 42,000 miles. The plugs for Volkswagen state that they can 60,000 mile interval for plug changes. This is the one that I pulled out of cylinder 3, and what you'll see there is it's missing the electrode on the end of the spark plug. Now, where did that go? I'm sorry if I sound a little irritated, but I'm a little irritated at the moment. So, we get to play the game of where did the spark plug electrode go? Where could it have gone? There's only one place it can go. That's into the engine. So because these plugs were neglected, they weren't overlooked, it was marked that they were serviced, I don't think they ever were. And because of that, spark plug electrodes don't just fall off. They are on a spark plug pretty freaking strong. Like, it takes a decent amount of force to break one of those little electrodes off of a spark plug, which indicates that those plugs are old as hell. And even though this Carfax report shows that they were changed at a certain interval, there's plenty of proof right there in those spark plugs that they definitely were not. So that little piece of metal that came off of that spark plug, that electrode, is now in the engine somewhere. And because it went through the engine, and keep in mind, I only drove the car a mile to limp it back to the shop after it started misfiring and after it died, and it wasn't making any audible noises or anything like that. Then we towed it to the house and it wasn't making any noises. I moved it from the street into the driveway. Melanie and I changed the spark plugs. We changed the oil. We were like, all right, let's go test drive it. We started driving it up the street a little bit, knock, within like 500 feet. Drove it back to the house, and now it's been sitting. So I'm pretty irritated with the fact that I've had this car for 70 days. I put 1,500 miles on it. It didn't even make it to an oil change interval for me to even bring it back to the dealership for them to be able to do anything with it. And now I'm stuck with a dead Volkswagen Golf R. So come Monday, I'm going to be calling this dealership. I'm not going to disclose any dealership names or anything like that right now. Supposedly, the Volkswagen dealership I bought it from is a pretty reputable dealership, so I'm kind of hoping that they're gonna work with me something here, because it's just absurd. Like, any technician, if they're going through like a mechanical check of a car and all they had to do was pop a coil pack out and they would have seen that these things were drenched in oil, that would have been a red flag to be like, hey, we need to fix this before selling this car. And it wasn't caught at either Audi or Volkswagen, and that's the thing that really irritates me about it. Like, if a car were to suffer from engine failure and it was due to a tune, it was due to parts, it was due to a driving error, 100% that's my fault. However, it's irritating because it's not my fault. I've driven the car 1,500 miles. It said it was serviced. Like I've said, I don't believe it was. Your boy's a little irritated right now. I'm sorry if I sound irritated, but if you guys went out and bought a car with an immaculate service record history and then something like this happened to you, I'm sure you'd be rather upset as well. So yeah, our Volkswagen's dead. So we're looking at like two scenarios here with the Golf R. Scenario A, the Volkswagen dealership I bought it from helps in one way or another, whether that's a goodwill on the, keep in mind, I have no warranty on that car either. It didn't come with a warranty, it was sold as is. So that's why I'm kind of hoping here that this dealership just is as good as people say they are and they actually help us. So option A is the dealership helps us, whether that's them goodwilling the engine and them fixing it on their dime for the overlooking of a significant maintenance item that should have been checked before they sold the car. B, they just buy the car back from me for what I owe on it. At this point, I'm totally fine with them if they want to do that. Or option C, the dealership tells us to get bent and we have to do this on our own. Then it looks like I'm about to know German cars exceptionally well, and we're going to be replacing the short block in Gunther. Integrated engineering sells short block, so if it comes down to it, we'll get into integrated engineering block. We'll use all of our integrated engineering parts that we have sitting literally right in front of me. The car is 100% stock right now, by the way, too. Keep that in mind. Stock tune, stock airbox, stock everything. It's got a cat back on it, but it's it's incredibly frustrating. I've been going through the 5 stages of grief. I don't even know what they are, actually. Let me look. Let me Google. Oh, there's 7 stages of grief. There's not even 5. What stage am I in right now? Denial. I went through the denial phase. I've already been through that one because I was like, okay, it's just a spark plug. Went through that one. Anger. Yep. I mean, I feel like I'm still kind of in that stage. I'm still a little angry. Bargaining. I think we're kind of past that one. I think I was doing that in the Discord last night. Depression. I'm a little sad. I'm actually exceptionally sad right now because I genuinely do like that Golf R. I genuinely love that car as a daily driver, but this is infuriating. And then acceptance, which I'm I'm still working towards acceptance on that one. So yeah, I thought I'd share a fun update with you guys on that one. 1,500 miles, blew up due to just complete negligence of overlooking a spark plug. The thing that really gets me is I didn't even make it an oil change. Like, I literally drove the car 1,500 miles and it died. It's infuriating. So that means that once again, I have 3 cars and literally none of them work right now. It's oh my god, I'm back to the Subarus. So that means I'm stuck at the house, which means I can't go to the shop and work on the Evo, which means I'm guess I'm focusing hardcore on the STI. And keep in mind, if Volkswagen tells me to get bent, that means I can't go get the new BRZ that I pre-ordered, which kind of screws me there also of having a running car yet again. So I'm really pulling through that the dealership will, at minimum, just buy the car back off of me for what I owe. Even if they bought the car back off of me for what I owe, I don't keep my down payment, fix the car, sell it. You'll still make money on it. I really could care less at this point. The frustrations. It's just the frustrations. So, yeah, I'm stuck at the house now, so that means a lot of stuff's gonna be going down on the Subaru because, well, that's what we have to work with right now. So, Subaru's gonna be making great progress. So, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you liked the video for some reason of just this weird rant, yeah, rod knock, it's enough to break your spirits. Surprisingly enough, I've owned 20 plus Subarus. Never had rod knock. Buy one Volkswagen. Rod knock within the first 60 days. It's absurd. Anyways, that's just a joke. It's not the car's fault. It's placing the, and I could be 100% wrong. And if I'm 100% wrong here, feel free to point it out and tell me. But the car went through Audi and Volkswagen within 4 days of each other, getting 2 different maintenance inspections done on the car before being sold. And that's what really irks me is neither of these dealerships even looked into. They didn't even pull a fucking coil pack out of the car to see that everything is soaked in oil, first of all. And if they did see that, they would have been like, all right, let's pull the plugs, let's fix this leak, then we can sell the car. But no, it's absolutely ridiculous. So I'll keep you guys updated on what's going on with it and everything that happens and pans out with it. But for right now, I'm back to the good old Subarus. The Evo, I'm going to continue stockpiling parts for the Evo. In the event that the dealership doesn't help us, the Evo's getting front loaded to get running first because that car is technically the closest to running because it's all bolt-on parts. I bought the fuel rail last night for it. We just need the rest of the fuel system, which is like injectors and fuel line, fuel pressure regulator. Then we just need an exhaust manifold, turbo, intercooler, and we should be pretty much set to go on that one. So it sucks. It sucks. It really does suck. I genuinely liked the Golf R, but I'm a little upset at the dealer that I bought it from right now. So like I said, if I'm 100% in the wrong here, please tell me. And yeah, I don't know. That's all I got for you guys on this one though. So expect a whole bunch of Subaru videos to be coming and some Volkswagen updates as well. So with that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies. Woo! God, that was sad. That was a fake woo. I'm sad. Your car runs.